11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, well, he's looking for anything here. I frankly don't blame him for trying to find something. And for Mike Shanahan, his theme this week was focus. Keep your mind on the game. Don't look the next week. Actually, don't look to the next series.
Morton Anderson will kick off for the Atlanta Falcons. And the deep back on the return is Vaughn Hebron. And we are underway in the Georgia Dome. A couple of yards deep. He's going to bring it out. An excellent return man across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the lineups for the Denver Broncos. John Elway, the quarterback, will lead them on the field. And here's his offensive line.
This is the most amazing guy, Gary Zimmerman. He's already back. Last year, he's an all-pro left tackle. Comes back after a self-imposed retirement. Starts at right tackle. He's never missed a football game in which he's been active.
Backs and receivers.
This is the man right here has taken all the pressure off John Elway. And you no longer have to stop John Elway first. You now have to stop Terrell Davis first when you play the Denver Broncos.
Elway comes out throwing, comes to the near side. The pass is incomplete as he goes to Rod Smith. We'll check out the defense for the Atlanta Falcons. Their front four, Bob.
Actually, it played pretty well. They've gotten a lot of sacks to the surprise of a great many people in the NFL and, frankly, a great many people in Atlanta.
Linebackers in secondary?
Secondary is fair here. They've got good linebackers. Jesse Tuggle for the 8th season last year led this Atlanta Falcons football team in tackles.
Second and 10, 3 wide receivers, 1 remaining back. That is Terrell Davis. He comes in motion now with 4 wide receivers. Over the middle to the tight end, Shannon Sharp. So Shannon Sharp now has his 12th reception of the year. He is brought down by Henri Crockett.
Remember yesterday we were talking to John Elway? He said, you know, Shannon only had 1 catch last week. He's constantly lobbying for the football. Said, you know, Shannon, you got to be patient. You know, we're going to give the ball to Davis a lot. I have a feeling that was to just keep Shannon Sharp quiet in the huddle for the rest of the game.
Good point. He says we'll spread it around and everybody will have their turn, but not necessarily in the same game. Terrell Davis, nothing there. He'll get a couple of yards to the 35, but the defense of the Falcons closed immediately on him. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
What the Atlanta Falcons are going to have to do here to stop Terrell Davis is commit 8 guys to the line of scrimmage and sometimes 9. Now the weakness of that, and that's on run blitzes, the weakness of that is that at some point play action and John Elway is going to kill you. So, I mean, this is a very difficult offense to defense just because of the weapons that they have.
Terrell Davis now goes out of the offensive set. 5 wide receivers. Elway in a shotgun with no back to protect it. Elway goes deep. Shannon Sharp picks it up. Double coverage. Heads to the end zone. He is there. His first touchdown of the year. 65 yards.
How about that throw?
How about that formation and the salute? The mile-high salute goes to Georgia.
Now, what happened here is when Denver went to 5 wide receivers, the Falcons did not adjust defensively. They stayed with their standard defense. They just had 4 defensive backs in there. You saw 58 Tuggle trying to run down Shannon Sharp. That's one you got to give to Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan by design. They just caught Atlanta in the wrong defense. They have any chance whatsoever of defending that type of play.
Jason Elam with the point after, and the Broncos very quickly, under 2 minutes of the ball game. Broncos are out in front by a score of 7-0. Back with the kickoff in a moment. Back with 13 minutes and 18 seconds still remaining in the first quarter. John Elway to Shannon Sharp, 65 yards, touchdown. Longest touchdown reception in the career of Shannon Sharp. And now Jason Elam will kick it away with Byron Hanspard and Jerron Bolden, the deep backs. Taken 2 yards deep and down by Hanspard out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
All right, first of all, look at the offense. This is the spread. Here's the 5 receivers. What Atlanta does is they do not substitute. This is a linebacker, linebacker, linebacker. So you've got Shannon Sharp on the middle linebacker right here. It's a play that you design against a certain defense. The Falcons didn't change to the extra defensive backs. Broncos took advantage of it.
But remember that Terrell Davis came out. There's the Mile High salute. Shannon Sharpe has a chance to thank everybody. It's really catching on, the whole ball club. But Terrell Davis came out at the last moment. They came in. They set the running backs up, so they had in reality 5 receivers in the wide position. And as Bob said, the defense simply wasn't ready for them. Jamal Anderson gets the first call. Neil Smith is there, and flags come flying. Dick Hantak is our referee. Dale Williams, the head linesman, talking to him. It will go against the Falcons. And a Bronco player is down. That's Neil Smith. So we have
illegal formation. Offense. No eligible receiver on the end of the line. Penalty is declined.
It will be second down. We have an injury timeout for a moment. Clock is stopped with 13:03. That is the time remaining in the first quarter. In case you are just joining us, the Broncos quickly on top of the Falcons by a score of 7-0.
This is the only thing that can really hurt the Denver Broncos. Here's Smith. See what happens as he chases it down the line. But any injury to a starting player that really affects a team that's rolling like the Denver Broncos are. And frankly, I didn't see anything there. I thought one of the most amazing statistics about the Denver Broncos in 1996 was that they had 10 of 11 starters on defense start every single game. And if you want a secret to success in the NFL, that's got to be part of the equation. Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator, looked like Neil Smith walked off under his own power. Might be all right. Maybe a neck stinger, not really sure. We'll get a report from the sideline.
Harold Hasselback replaces him. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Jamal Anderson is the tailback. Bob Christensen, the fullback. Loading up the middle, rolls away from it. Pass is incomplete. All kinds of pressure put on by Alan Aldridge, the middle linebacker, who's blitzing right up the middle.
Man, Aldridge was untouched. Here you're going to see Romanowski comes from the outside. Aldridge is absolutely untouched. You need to at least slow those guys down. You know, you don't have to block them, but just slow them down a little bit.
Falcons going with the rookie center, Calvin Collins, his second consecutive start, taken in the 5th round. He blocks to the left. There was nobody there to pick him up.
Well,
is that his read?
No, that's the design of the zone blitz. You overload a certain area, and you get somebody free on the quarterback.
3rd down, 11. Pressure this time from the backside. Trying a little underhand shuffle designed to make it look like it wasn't a fumble, but in reality, I think that it was. Darian Gordon was there, putting the pressure on from the outside.
Well, not a very good series.
No. and Atlanta told us that the first quarter was so important to them.
Holding. Offense number 68. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
And it's holding on the center, the rookie center we were just talking about, Calvin Collins. Now, Darian Gordon is the return man, and he's the #1 return man in the National Football League. Dan Straczynski has great hang time and probably has more fair catches off of his punch than anybody in the league every year. Now, Gordon can give the Broncos excellent field position. Fair catch at the 45-yard line. 38 yards on the kick with no return. 12-23. Yet whether or not he's going to return, all of a sudden the kickers are going John Carney.
Yeah.
An injury a couple of weeks ago in San Diego.
Oh, an extra point or a kickoff. No contact here by Jason Elam.
Elway from the shotgun. Underneath the coverage, he goes to Ed McCaffrey. Quickly picking up the first down. 45-yard line. 40-yard line of the Falcons.
Again, an empty backfield. And you've got the defense spread all over the field here for the Falcons. And the one thing that bothered Dan Reeves and his team last week was how many receivers for San Francisco caught the ball running. We've had 2 receptions by Denver, 1 for a touchdown, and that one by McCaffrey. Again, the receiver catches the ball moving.
Gain of 16 yards, first down. They spotted at the 39-yard line. Terrell Davis, right side. 5 yards on the play. Travis Hall makes the tackle for Atlanta.
Now we also got a report that Howard Griffith, the starting fullback, is out too. And you can see what Terrell Davis has done in the first 4 games of this 97 season. It's just laid waste to defenses.
Detron Smith is in at fullback on that last set.
He told us yesterday, TD did, said, I didn't play much at Georgia. I feel fresh. They can give it to me 25 times a game. I don't mind a bit. Here's that empty backfield 5 receiver formation again, Charlie.
35-yard line. Flags come flying.
One thing I got to tell you about Mike Shanahan, John Elway, and Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, they can design stuff the defenses just flat can't stop.
Second down, 11. Elway to throw, has pressure, dumps it off to Davis, incomplete. He was his outlet as the Falcons defense was putting all kinds of pressure on him.
Cornelius Bennett out there in the flat to cover Terrell Davis.
Davis has only 6 receptions on the year. He's a pretty good receiver. He's been running so well, they simply haven't thrown to him that much.
Sure, I don't think you can use him up as a receiver, but you can't ignore him as a receiver because it just makes him that much more of a threat. There's Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, former backup to John Elway.
Elway in the shotgun now with 3 receivers. Falcons have pressure on him. He steps up. He'll run for it. He's got the first down. He's to the 20-yard line and just gingerly heads for the sideline.
Always been a huge part of his arsenal. I mean, the one thing about John Elway now at 37 is he's a little more patient in the pocket. He's not so quick to run, but the first time he's pressured, look, there's Davis, 30, personal escort, protecting the franchise there, tries to get a block. And that's an amazing thing about John Elway. They've had to break him of running the ball too quickly. And here's Rich Brooks, the defensive coordinator. He fully understands the nightmare that the Broncos offense presents for any defense.
Elway's career rushing was passed by Terrell Davis last week. He said, I can't believe he did that. It took me 15 years to get there. And here is Davis. He wants to get that rushing leadership back.
Yeah, he said it. We asked him what his goals were, and he said, look, I want to be synonymous with the Denver Broncos. Frankly, the way that John Elway is now. In the future, I want to be the guy for the Denver Broncos. Loves Floyd Little.
Did you notice the face mask? The face mask on Terrell Davis, there it is. Elway looked at the face mask in practice and he said, what kind of face mask is that? And he said, I've been wearing it all the time. John said, I've only seen you from the back. Second down. Detron Smith getting the call, replacing Howard Griffith, who has a knee strain. Questionable if he can return. Cornelius Bennett with the tackle for Atlanta.
Speaking of Cornelius Bennett, of course, he came down from Buffalo last year. Last year was the first time in his football career he suffered through a losing season. Can you imagine that? All those years at Alabama and Buffalo, first time he did not have a winning record.
Third down. Shannon Sharp, the motion man, the pitch to Davis. He's in traffic. He'll end up with just about a yard. That's going to be it to the 10-yard line. So the defense of the Falcons, led by Dan Owens and Ronnie Bradford, former Denver Bronco, rise up at the 10-yard line.
And Shanahan, I think, is showing very little respect here for Atlanta's defense. He's going for it on 4th down. And frankly, with the power that this offense has, why not?
And also a statement for the Denver defense.
Sure.
If we turn it over on downs, we can still stop it.
He knows how important points are in the NFL. The more you can get, the better chance you stand at the end of the season.
4th down and 3 at the 10. Elway looks up and calls for a timeout.
Yeah, there was 1 tick left on the play clock, so he's going to go to the sideline. I'm not sure they'll change their mind, though.
We'll be back. Elway, we understand, will kick the short one. The long one would be kicked by Tom Roy. 5 wide on the set, nobody back with John Elway. He's in the shotgun. They pressure Elway, a fade into the corner, kicker, Michael Booker.
Interference. Defense, number 20. Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
Willie Green, his first touchdown of the year.
Well, Charlie, what Denver is trying to do here is isolate their receivers on the defenders from Atlanta as best they possibly can. And so far, every time they've done it, it's worked.
They'll go for 2. If Elway's going to kick it, he needs a holder to come out.
Well, they don't want to burn another timeout here.
12 seconds on the play clock. 3 wide receivers, 4 seconds and counting. For 2, straight shot up the middle for 2.
Big deal.
Terrell Davis. Mile high salute from the running back.
Charlie, if we go back to the touchdown again, you're going to see the 5 wide receivers or 5 spread formation, and then here's the touchdown. It's just a fade pattern. A beautiful throw by John Elway, and again, it's just to isolate their receivers, which frankly are pretty big receivers. And that's a beautifully run pattern, a nice throw, and you can certainly see the interference. Now, John Elway's just throwing this to a spot, not to the player, to a spot. One of those choice receptions. Pick the end you want to catch, you know. And the 2-point conversion, why not just give it to the cyber horse? He needs a little bigger horse on the side of his helmet, you know. I'm officially lobbying for Terrell Davis and a little bigger horse and working on the salute. We'll have practice.
They need work.
Yeah,
they need work. All the military watching it, you realize they need work.
Yeah,
but these are young men.
Sure. And
rookies.
The more they score
in boot camp,
the more they score, the better that salute's going to look.
As John Elway says, we'd ask you about the uniforms, and he said, we're 4-0. They're getting better looking every week.
Yeah, Tampa the same way. The rest of the league's going to change uniforms next year.
That wouldn't surprise me. Just a little slow sprint-type kick as Tom Ruin, the punter, back up the long kicker, kicks off.
And it bounces off Hanspard, out of bounds, inside the 20.
Now let's bring you up to date on Atlanta's lineups. We'll start, of course, with their offensive line.
Whitfield, 70, the only offensive lineman to play in all games so far this season.
Backs and receivers.
This is the guy to watch. Jamal Anderson, excellent running back. And I think it's the guy that Dan Reeves wants to eventually feature in this offense.
Interesting young tight end in O.J. Santiago that we visited with.
6'7", there he is, 88. 6'7", 267 pounds. Kid grew up in Canada.
Played at Kent State.
Yeah, he is a diamond in the rough.
Definitely. Atlanta will start at their 19-yard line. Denver is up 15-0. Chandler to throw. Completes the pass. First really good offensive play for the Falcons. This is to Bert Emanuel, the wide receiver. Ray Crockett makes the tackle. It's good for 20 yards and the first down. Defensively, the front 4 for Denver.
Michael Dean Perry, of those 4, probably playing the best. In excellent shape, and still a guy who could blow a play up.
Neil Smith back in the ballgame.
Yes, I noticed he's in Atwater playing with the shoulder brace. He's a big part of the defense for the Broncos.
First down, Atlanta, their own 40-yard line. Jamal Anderson. No, that's Byron Hanspard, the rookie from Texas A&M, from Texas Tech. Keith Traylor with the tackle.
This young man gained 2,000 yards as a senior in college. Was a third-round draft choice, and he's the electrifying type of runner that Dan Reeves is going to employ in this offense. Kind of be the third down back or long yardage back, at least until Jamal Anderson's ankle completely heals.
Second down and 5. Anderson back in as the tailback. Anderson was really looking for this ball game. He said, you want to go against the best, see if you can crush them. Right now, he gets crushed at the line of scrimmage by Keith Traylor.
Amazing thing about Keith Traylor, originally drafted as a linebacker by Denver, ate himself to nose tackle. Went to a couple of teams and Now he's playing terrific as a nose tackle for the Denver Broncos. So every move the Broncos have made here in the last couple, 3 years has worked and worked well.
We're 9 minutes into the ball game. Atlanta has 23 yards of total offense. Denver 138.
Come on, Charlie, give me some good news about Atlanta here, will you?
The good news is we have a timeout. So we'll step aside. Broncos are up 15-0. Back in a moment.
But shoes are the same. I mean, normally kickers have different shoes.
You like to change?
He's too sane to be a kicker.
I don't know. He's been a quarterback for a long time. Pulled off sides. Remember, 3rd and 4. So that's the first down. 49-yard line. Looking for the screen. Screen is set. The delay. Wait. Good for about 5 yards on the play. Byron Hanspard, the rookie from Texas Tech, pulled it in. John Mobley, the very active linebacker from Kutztown, '1 draft choice in '96, makes the tackle.
138-29. We're lucky it's only 15-0, Charlie. I mean, let's be honest about this.
Atlanta mounting their first drive of the ball game.
Okay, that's
see if they can get something going for them.
Yes, we're looking for little bits and pieces of positive signs.
About 3 yards on the left side for Byron Hanspard. In the vernacular of television, we would like to notify our viewers that we did bring what we call the big bucket. We have a lot of interesting things for you, just in case. And I have the feeling the bucket may be empty when we get to the 4th quarter.
Well, you've been in this business for a long time, Charlie. What's the NFL record for beginning to empty that bucket in an NFL game?
We are underway. We are poised. We really haven't started yet. Atlanta with an opportunity to get right back in the middle of this. Going to the far side and out of bounds. Just picking away. That's the first down.
But Charlie, what you're seeing here is a relaxed Denver football team. The defense looks at what the offense has been able to do and say the defense can't stop it. We don't have to play great. Now, there's nothing that'll upset a head coach more. You hope to get up 15-0, but then you don't want your players to just relax and allow the opponent to get back in the game. And at this point, we're seeing a relaxed effort by the Denver defense.
Bert Emanuel with that last reception. Steve Atwater was there for Denver. It's a first down.
Let's see if they come with a blitz on this play.
36-yard line.
No blitz.
Good protection, going deep. Excellent coverage. Excellent coverage by Darian Gordon on Terrence Mathis. And he used that sideline perfectly. Kept him pinned against the sideline.
You got a pair of them up there, and they cover it well. You're right. And Darian Gordon just tries to just use the sideline. That's right. Give the quarterback no place to throw the ball for a completion. And that's at 1st and 10, kind of a desperation shot.
2nd down and 10, back at the 36-yard line. Gordon already this year with a 32-yard interception return for a touchdown. Chandler hands off to Hanspard. I'm not sure they can get there on the ground. A couple of yards to the 34. 3rd down and 8. John Mobley with the tackle. Hanspard, as I mentioned, the rookie #3 draft choice. Here's what he did at Texas Tech.
Look at that, 2,084 yards. I don't care who you play. If the other team has cleats and a helmet, 2,084 yards in 11 games is a bunch.
It is. It really is. The Red Raider used to the Falcons colors. They're the same at Texas Tech. 3rd down and 8. Chandler going deep to this side. A little pushing and shoving. Almost intercepted, and there's no flag.
Boy, that's the experience of Crockett. 39. Excellent job.
Ray Crockett, the defender. Bert Emanuel, the intended receiver.
This is well thrown by Chandler, but again, you get that receiver on the sideline. Now watch the arm of Crockett. Just gets in there, head back, looking at the quarterback. The officials will allow it. And you can tell that Emanuel can't get both hands up to try to make the catch. Knocks the ball away.
52-yard field goal attempt by Morton Anderson. He has 32 successful field goals of more than 50 yards. Is that partially blocked?
I don't think
no good.
I don't think anybody hit it.
It veered off to the right. So Morton Anderson misses from 52 yards away. And that means that Denver will take over at the spot of the hold. Broncos are out in front by a score of 15-0.
Now we see Morton Anderson, who is Denver probably would wish that Morton Anderson hadn't missed that kick down in Jacksonville. See if anybody does get their hand on. No, I think that's a clean kick. He just, when they try to kick it a little farther, they generally hook it. A little too much leg swing, and that's what happened. Missed field goal attempt.
Denver takes over at their own 42-yard line. Davis gets the call, slips out of a tackle. Battles his way up to the 45. Tough 3 yards, second down 7.
And the Falcons defense is committing 8 guys to the line of scrimmage to stop Terrell Davis.
Travis Hall along with Cornelius Bennett on the last tackle.
And their choice at this point in the game, that is Coach Brooks's choice at this point in the game, is to not let Terrell Davis just beat our defense up. If you're going to beat us, you're going to throw it down the field.
That can be a dangerous concept when you're playing John Elway. He throws this one down the field to Ed McCaffrey. The big tight end, a big wide receiver at 6'5", 215 from Stanford. Ronnie Bradford from Colorado makes the tackle.
Now, you know, this is one of the biggest changes, I think, on this Denver team. Bradford kind of backs off, but remember when the Broncos were great, when Reeves was there, they had the 3 amigos, and they were all squirts. You know, now you got McCaffrey, you got Smith, you got Shannon Sharp. They're all very, very big, angular, not particularly fast, but very visible receivers.
Elway has completed 5 of 7 for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. This one batted away.
It looked like Lester Archambault, number 92, got his hand up and knocked the ball away. The receiver was open. He is Atlanta's leading sacker. See if I'm right. I believe this is Archambault right here. Jumps up. Yeah, just gets off of Tony Jones and is able to get his hands up, reading that quarterback, the quick set.
Like Elway, he also played at Stanford. Little hippity hop jump by Terrell Davis.
Well, that's pretty.
He's good, isn't he?
That's
he
pretty.
is so good. Ronnie Bradford with the stop.
Actually, this young man, he doesn't need a whole bunch of room to gain yards. That may be his best attribute. And the thing that he told me yesterday, I've talked to him several times, but the thing he told us yesterday that is going to bode very bad news for other defenses. He said, I'm a running back with a defensive mentality. I love to hit people. I prefer to hit them.
In high school, he was a nose guard.
Yeah.
And he liked it.
Yeah. What's wrong with the kid?
Flag. First down conversion is there to Willie Green. We'll go back and check out the flag. Ray Buchanan had the coverage.
That's going to be on Denver.
Receiver shotgun. Elway goes deep down the sideline to Smith. There's pushing and shoving and no flag.
Oh, I'm surprised there's no flag.
I am too. And this is one of the problems that the players and coaches complain about, is that in other games we've had this year, there have been flags flying. And there were. That's with that amount of contact. Today, they're letting them play.
Yeah. Now, this is a double zone, and Bush, the safety, rotates out, and there's the contact, and he's not looking back at the football.
And also contact by the offensive player.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how the officials call that, but when the defensive back is not looking back at the football, generally, he gets the flag on him.
That's almost an automatic. Tom Rowan is going to punt. Todd Kitchen, the return man's at the 10-yard line. Atlanta stopping Denver here. Excellent kick by Tom Rowan. It'll go out at the 6-yard line. 36 yards on the punt. No return as we go to New York for an update. Time remaining. Denver up 15-0. Atlanta with the ball on their own 6-yard line, first down. Tanavasi is in the ballgame in the defensive line for the Broncos. They'll continue to rotate. Tanavasi and Hasselback and maybe Mike Lotus with the 4 starters. Jamal Anderson leaning forward, trying to pick up at least 1 yard. Keith Traylor with the tackle. That will bring us to the end of the first period of play. After 1, the Denver Broncos in front of the Atlanta Falcons. America's Georgia. That, by the way, is where Charles Lindbergh soloed at Souther Field back in 1923. He said, it's really good to be home. It's really tough to lose, but it's good to be home. Byron Hanspard, the ball carrier, close to the 10-yard line. Be 3rd down and 6. Williams and Mobley with the tackle.
First quarter numbers, the passing yardage has produced 2 touchdowns. Count them, 2 touchdowns. And they don't need the run game today. That's the beauty of the Denver football team now. It used to be that you counted on the pass and you got no run. But after a 215-yard rushing performance last week, they try to shut down the run. Elway gets them.
3rd down 7. Falcons have converted only 1 3rd down opportunity out of 3. Blitz is coming. All kinds of pressure. It's incomplete. Chandler barely saved the loss and the possibility of a safety.
You're going to see Ray Buchanan right up there at the line of scrimmage, and again, he's untouched. That zone blitz, you try to overload a spot. Excuse me, it's Tyrone Braxton. Tyrone Braxton. I've got the wrong 30, right 34, wrong team. Tyrone Braxton with the hit on Chandler.
So Dan Straczynski will kick it away. Darian Gordon, the return man, and again, the Broncos will have excellent field position. Denver with the return on. He really hangs this up. No fair catch was called. That's Jerron Bolden. Something for the Falcons to celebrate. 52 yards on the punt. They haven't had a lot to celebrate about. Follow the NBC season online at NBCSports.com. At the Denver 42-yard line, 1st down. Showing 4 wide receivers. Terrell Davis gets the call. From Lincoln High School in San Diego. Had the same coach as Marcus Allen. Big player, and he said he was more than just a coach. Said he learned a lot both on and off the field. He's a very impressive man.
Yeah, and then went to Long Beach State and played for, was recruited by George Allen. In fact, when George Allen called the first time, Terrell admitted to us, I didn't know who he was. I had to go ask friends. He said, but before I went up there, I did a little research, found out exactly who he was and what he'd accomplished.
2nd down. Davis just shy of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Ronnie Bradford with the tackle.
And this is one of the things that you just love about a kid like Terrell Davis. The first opportunity to turn upfield, he takes it, squares his shoulders, and now he just tells those defensive backs, how much of me do you want? You want all of me? Hit me between the 3 and the O. You want part of me? Take a hip. He runs like a fullback.
A little heavier this year. Wanted to be heavier.
Yeah, he wanted to be about like 217, but his weight limit by Shanahan is 213. Plays at about 210.
Double tight end on the set. Davis hit at the line of scrimmage. 2nd effort. You saw it, and it's close to the 1st down. I think he got it. William White with the tackle.
Charlie, excuse me, but again, that great attribute, he never gives up on a play. It looked to me like Travis Hall, 98, had a hold of him, bounces off of him, and picks up or is close enough to a 1st down for a measurement.
Change will come out. He said I said, what are you going to have? She said, she'll have a surprise for him.
A surprise.
1st down.
Also interesting to note, too, that Terrell Davis told us that he hadn't had a migraine since last football season. He's changed medication, began to watch his diet a little more, and takes a medication that is, there are no narcotics involved in this medication. It's an animal enzyme that's used for inflammation, and it seems to have worked. He's fine.
1st down, Elway to throw. As pressure steps away, goes for the end zone, and his man knocked away. all the way. Good defensive coverage.
Deep post by McCaffrey, and Bradford positions himself perfectly. And even though McCaffrey's tall, Bradford makes sure that he's just inside the line of flight of that ball, knocks it away. And again, the great value of a receiver was 6'5". You know, with the three amigos, the little kids they had, Elway wouldn't have thrown that thing down there. But with a 6'5" receiver, you can take a chance with a shot like that.
Second down 10. Three wide receivers from the shotgun. Elway pulled it back and then fired over the middle. Patrick Jeffers with his first reception of the year. Jesse Tuggle makes the tackle. McCaffrey comes back in. Terrell Davis goes out for this offensive set.
All right, here's that empty formation again that Denver's had so much success with. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DBs. 5 DBs now for Atlanta.
5 wide receivers in the formation. Elway over the middle for the first down. He goes to Rod Smith, holds on to it as Devin Bush nails him, but he's got the first down at the 36-yard line.
Now this is a young man that John Elway has a great deal of faith in now. He's in the slot. He's just going to run the simple slant. Just a quick pattern. The ball is 2/3 of the way there. And when Smith makes the break, and he's inside Devin Bush for an easy pickup, and they're spraying something on his back. Stick him.
That's that hurt no more.
Yeah, I can't feel it. Give me some of that. I can't feel it.
Davis with a couple of yards, maybe 3. John Burrow with the tackle is an opportunity for you to check out the ticker and see what's going on around the NFL in the early games today. Atlanta, they're trying to stop Davis. It's a typical take away the run and let John Elway beat you. I mean, that always bothers me when I hear that, because John Elway has a tendency to beat you.
Yeah, it's never worked. It's seldom worked to turn the ball over to John Elway and say, beat us if you can. You're right, but I mean, you have to stop Terrell Davis, or your defense just loses all confidence in anything they can do.
3-step drop, throws on target, first down. Ed McCaffrey finding that open seam between the corner and the safety, hits him on the break, first down. Between Bradford and White.
And again, just a simple timing pattern. The linebacker is taken out of there by a drag pattern run by the tight end out to the sideline, and the alley is filled with football right into the breadbasket and an easy reception. And McCaffrey's gone on and off the field several times today. I don't know if there's something wrong with him, but Steve Antonopoulos, the trainer for the Broncos, getting some heavy duty so far.
First down, 18-yard line. Elway throws into the corner of the end zone, and it is no good. Shannon Sharp with Ruffin Hamilton, the linebacker, the coverage down the far sideline. Now Elway is throwing with a bruised finger that he hurt in practice, bruised thumb that he hit on a helmet. Hadn't seemed to bother him at all.
No, and that was the tight end dragging up. Again, trying to take advantage of linebacker covering tight end. And John's mad at himself. He'd thrown it to the back corner of the end zone. I think Sharp could have got to it.
3 wide receivers, second down. Broncos up 15-0, right side. Davis inside the 15-yard line to the 13. Third down and about 5. In the 1990s, Terrell Davis.
Yeah, these are 200-yard rushing performances. At 215 of last week, pretty impressive, led by Emmitt Smith, 237. And, of course, Peyton's record of 275. So that's some tall cotton for a 6th-round draft choice, you know, Terrell Davis.
Has 41 yards. There's still just under 9 minutes to go in the half. Has it here. He's got the touchdown. If he gets to the corner, he's got the corner. He's got the touchdown. Wait for the salute. There it is. You're right. It is getting better. 13 yards for the score.
Well, again, you know, he thunders between the tackles all day long. And again, now, And because the kicker Elam is hurt, the Denver Broncos are going to go for two. They're not running up the score, but their field goal kicker, their backup field goal kicker is John Elway. They don't want him to have a strained hip flexor.
That's right. I'm not sure the crowd here, there's a lot of mumbling going on, mumble, mumble, mumble in the background. Understand this. They think because it's a bit of a grudge match. This is Davis leaning in, and does he have it? I have one official on the far side.
I think Atlanta called a timeout.
Had requested a timeout prior to the snap. Their first timeout.
Let's go back to the touchdown of Terrell Davis, his 4th of the year.
Now, you're going to see Davis come up here, and he stays inside as long as he can, then bounces outside. 77, Tony Jones, T-Bone gets a heck of a block. And, you know, again, Terrell Davis does a great job of setting up that block by Tony Jones, and it's official with the salute. And another 6 points for the Denver Broncos. 12 carries, 55 yards. What did Michael Dean Perry say to us? He walked in, we were talking to Terrell Davis. He says, I love this kid. He's going to extend my career. I like those long drives, 12, 15 plays, 8, 10 minutes. All of a sudden, we're in the middle of the third quarter. I go out there for 3 snaps, give it to Terrell some more.
That's right. I'm on the sideline getting rejuvenated.
Yes.
He's adding to my career.
Yeah, I'll play till I'm 50. This kid keeps carrying the ball the way he's carrying it.
This again, 3 wide receivers. Davis again leaning in. He is in, converts for the 2 points.
Same play.
By Hanspine, out to the 35 to the 40-yard line. Atlanta will start with good field position. Tonight is the premiere of must-see TV Sunday. Atlanta at their own 40-yard line, first down. Denver is up 23-0. Fake rolling right into pressure. Pass is complete to Manuel. Dropped by Gordon.
That's beautifully played. I mean, everything is working right for the Denver Broncos. Oh my goodness, look at that. Total
Time of possession 2-1. Total yards 4-1 plus almost 5-1. Not quite.
And look, Dan Reeves has one of the most difficult jobs I think there is in the NFL. When you're on the backside of the run and shoot, trying to put in a regular offense, it is a Rubik's Cube. 1, you got to make sure your offensive lineman can now block, and 2, the receivers catch on. And it's just not set in yet with the Atlanta Falcons.
Second down and 10. Left side, nothing there for Hansberg. Alfred Williams with the tackle.
I mean, that's the problem that Dan Reeves faces. And I think in the pregame show, you heard him say to Sam White, he went to Denver. They had a history of winning. They knew how. He went to the Giants. They had a history of winning. They knew how. Atlanta does not have that history. They don't know how. So this is an absolute rebuilding block from the basement foundation. He's got to start with a slab and then build up. Also a mix and match offensive line with a lot of injuries. They've been in and out. And hard to get a winning first half. Denver up 23-0. Third down and 11. Thus far in the ballgame, the Falcons have converted only 1 third down opportunity. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Coming back after that bruised sternum a couple of weeks ago. Pressure right up the middle. He's sacked at the 25-yard line. Every important, crucial passing situation, Denver's choice is to come with the zone blitz. And Romanowski is right here. And again, Charlie, this is the 2nd sack and the 3rd time that a player's been in untouched. And 1 time he got the ball away, but the other 2 times totally untouched sacker on Chris Chandler. The punter, Dan Straczynski, has been one of the highlights for the Atlanta Falcons. They haven't had that many this afternoon. He is really bunting well. Flag is flying. Here's a great kick. Gordon fields it. Field late. So the NFL established the rule that for you to be a legal substitute, you got to get inside the big numbers, and then you are in fact legal.
Now, what are the big numbers?
The big numbers are the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 you see on the football field. And if you there they are. They're the big numbers, 20, 30. This is what we're talking about. Those are the big numbers.
You have to be inside there, right?
Yeah, you have to come from the sideline into there. You can't go from the sideline and line up there. That's
or as they were doing, sneaking in here.
Yes.
That was what
coaches we will not name used to do that on a pretty regular basis.
That's right. So we'll do the kick again. Another great kick. Fair catch. 27-yard line. 49 yards on the kick. No return. Darian Gordon with the fair catch. We'll be back in just a moment. Minutes, time remaining in the first half. John Elway has completed 8 of 14 for 137 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interception. Denver starts at their own 28-yard line. Elway looks right, comes back over the middle, incomplete. Going to Davis at the 30-yard line. Jesse Tuggle was there.
Awful lot of conversation this week about John Elway and the connection with Dan Reeves. In the 10 years with Reeves, he was +1 touchdown to interception. In the last 5, +54. That's a telling stat in one way only. The talent around John Elway in the last 5 years has improved dramatically. You can't blame that on Dan Reeves, because there was a time where if John Elway didn't win the game in the last second, they had no chance to win the game.
John said it wouldn't be the comeback kid if we had that situation. Davis with the call. The one number, though, that becomes as important as any other from a player standpoint, the number of times that you have won. And he is the most all-time winning starting quarterback with 130 and looking at 131.
Yeah, and you know, I've known John Elway for a long time. Did his first game. You've known him. He is not an individual numbers guy. He really isn't. This stuff about, if it weren't for Dan Reeves, I'd be up there with Dan Marino. That is so out of character for John Elway. I'm not sure I believe that he said that. He's that kind of guy. Son of a coach. You know better than to say that.
Denver converting 4 of 7 third down opportunities. Now Shannon Sharp makes it 5. Sharp with a touchdown in the ballgame. His first. William White with a tackle.
And again, this is a great job of scouting. You're going to see right here, Shannon Sharp is on Cornelius Bennett. Linebacker on tight end. Bennett up in years. Can't cover him. I mean, Bennett, when he was at Buffalo, he was a pass rusher. He didn't drop much in coverage. Again, that's just great game planning against this Atlanta defense.
Shannon from Glenville, Georgia, played at Savannah State. A little light in the pocketbook, $960 worth of tickets for his friends. Quick drop pass is complete. A couple of yards short of the first down. McCaffrey pulls it in. Bradford pulls him down. However, Michael Dean Perry really got hit.
45 tickets for the family.
$1,485. $1,485.
Yeah.
Davis said he got off easy. You know, he played at Georgia, first time back to play here. He said, but 9 tickets, but they're going to get me in San Diego big time.
Yeah, Michael Dean says, I got a big enough family. I can't refuse anybody. When they say they want a ticket, I pretty much have to write the check.
And he said, I'm glad we only come here once every few years. Second down. Davis slides to the outside, slashes through, picks up the first down. He always seems to know where the markers are, just how much he needs to pick up the first down.
I think 2 years ago, when the Denver Broncos found Terrell Davis, and remember Mike Shanahan told us that the first preseason game we played was in Japan. And we didn't know what we had. It was a 6th-round draft choice. We had him on all special teams. He said he went to Japan and was knocking people out. I mean, out on special teams. What is this kid? And from there, he has become, along with Curtis Martin, I think the 2 best running backs in the American Football Conference.
41-yard line, first down. Elway pump fake, goes deep, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ronnie Bradford, the former Bronco, going to McCaffrey. Flag dropped back. 2 flags now, 3 flags between the 40 and 45-yard line. And Ronnie Bradford's second interception this season. Here is the interception. As you are right, Bob, it was a poor choice by John Elway. Timeout. Back in a moment. Ball game. Atlanta now at their own 8-yard line, trailing 23-0. Chris Chandler, the quarterback. Little swing to the right side. Jamal Anderson. They got him out where he had some room, and he moved to the 24-yard line. Has the first down en route.
This is a young man that I really like. He was a 1,000-yard rusher. You're going to see him swing out of the backfield. A good completion by Chandler. And then the last 2 or 3 years been in the run and shoot. He's built like Earl Campbell, up to 235 pounds, but he's got that long stride. And I think that if the Falcons can get their offensive line in shape and in order, this young man can gain an awful lot of yards.
Chandler in the pocket, over the middle. Pass is complete to Bert Emanuel. Close to the first down. What is going on each play?
7-5 a play for Denver, 2-7 for Atlanta. That's certainly a telling graphic, along with total yards. And Charlie, that was the first time that Chris Chandler set up deep, 5-step drop, and actually had time to look down the field. First time he's gotten decent protection today.
Second down, 1. For the yard. I'm not sure he's going to get it. Let's see where he gets the spot. While they're making the measurement, we'll have the 2-minute warning. We'll step aside. Back in a moment. Of 23-0. Program notes. Stay with us at halftime. Greg Gumbel with Sam Weitz, Chris Collinsworth, Jim Kelly will be in the studio. Scores and highlights of everything that is going on today. Ryder Cup captains will have their speeches on tape. Earlier today, of course, Europe defeated the United States in the Ryder Cup. Up very early this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And watching NBC's coverage.
Yep.
Glad I was in the Eastern time zone. I'd have to get up at 5 o'clock on the West Coast.
I can't wait to hear what Sebi has to say as the captain.
Bueno, señor.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno. They did play well. They did.
Yes, they did.
The Europeans played well. They deserved to win.
But on the other side of the coin, where was Tiger Woods?
He struggled.
Where was Davis Love?
He really struggled.
And there's a lot of golf fans, including Mike Shanahan and John Elway, who were very interested in the Ryder Cup results.
When we met with him yesterday, we all kind of carried on a conversation while watching the Ryder Cup. First down, Atlanta. Measurement took place while we were away. Pressure right up the middle, spinning away, just getting rid of this. They'll let him do that because he was outside of the tight ends, or close enough.
Yeah, again, it's a zone blitz. You're going to see Williams drop off. A linebacker blitzes. At least this time, one of the guys is picked up, but the center, Collins, 68, doesn't get a real hit on Keith Traylor. And again, he's right in Chris Chandler's face.
Second down.
This is just his second start at center, the young man.
Chandler 2 of 3 on this drive, 4 of 8 on the first 4 drives. Chandler standard rest, little rainbow looping pass, and it is dropped by O.J. Santiago. A talented young man, but he didn't get this one, and he should have, shouldn't he, Bob?
Yeah, actually, he didn't look very good trying to make the reception. Here's Santiago right here, just the slot corner, the Y corner, however you want to call it, but he struggles a little bit getting his hands up here, although there did appear to be some contact with Aldridge. He may have lost his step.
What did he tell you about Candlestick Park 3Com when they were there playing the 49ers?
Well, he's a rookie all the way, you know. He said, I'm enjoying every minute of this, and last week when we were out in Candlestick, I ran the base paths. You know, they still had the skin infield. I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. Also was a designated captain, shook the hands of Steve Young.
Said he was thrilled. Here is Terrence Mathis down the sideline. Inside the 20-yard line. A lot of time remaining, 1:29 and counting. Falcons 49 yards, their first big play of the ballgame.
Well, when you're up 23-0, you can get kind of lulled to sleep, and that's exactly what happened. He runs his pattern on, frankly, Denver's best coverage corner, Crockett, and it's well thrown by Chandler. He finally has time, and the completion is made.
First down, Denver 16-yard line. Atlanta has one timeout remaining. Chandler steps, throws to the corner 5-yard line, leaning to the 1, and then the ball going out of bounds. Let's see where they'll mark it down. They'll mark it down about the 1, and it's the tight end, O.J. Santiago. They'll stop the clock using their last timeout. Clock is still moving. I thought he signaled for the timeout.
Yeah.
Coming to the sideline, but the clock is still moving. They've got to put 5 or 6 seconds back on the clock. They'll be just inches away from the goal line.
Well, let's try to cover both these pass receptions. Here's Terrence Mathis, and they just kind of spread. Crockett gets caught inside. Chandler makes a nice throw. And you can see a nice big 49-yard pickup. And then to the tight end, O.J. Santiago crossing. He has Romanowski running with him. But he's deep, and Crockett, there's Mathis again on the same reception. This is from the end zone. You can see the way they just split. Crockett got caught on the inside.
O.J. Santiago on his reception took them almost to the goal line. His dad is from Trinidad. His mother from West Germany. They met in Canada. He is having a good time, isn't he?
Yes.
He says, I'm so excited I don't get tired.
Yeah.
Ed West, the old veteran, 14 years at tight end, said, son, you will soon.
Yeah, it'll wear off. But he is an engaging young man. He really is. But 6'7", 265 pounds, and he runs about a 4.6 40.
Chandler on this drive, 4 of 6 for 89 yards.
Here's what's taking so long. They're calling more than one play. They want to make sure that they don't have to re-huddle.
Out of timeouts, they put 4 seconds back on the clock. Anderson, hip. He'll end up losing yardage. Back a yard, maybe 2 away. Clock will move. No timeouts, it'll be second down.
But they should already have a second play called, so just go right to the line of scrimmage. They won't have to huddle. Now, wait a minute, the clock is stopped here. Why?
There's some milling around. I'm not sure why. They stopped it, now they will start it again. Winding the clock.
That's a break for Atlanta. Oh, no. The center didn't snap the ball.
Flags come flying everywhere.
Everybody moved but the center.
That's the rookie, Calvin Collins. 5th round draft choice, Texas A&M, only a second start.
Encroachment. Defense, number 94. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Still second down.
That's the reason maybe he didn't snap. He was hit.
Yeah, maybe so. Trailer is right here on the center's nose. Yeah,
you're right. He did.
It's a good thing that Trailer was in there because you can see the center did not snap the ball.
Back to the 1-yard line, second down. Fake. End zone. Did he catch it? Scooping it up in West. His first touchdown.
Did you see Chandler? Oh, my aching heart. He almost underthrew it.
Had to scoop it off of the artificial surface.
Chandler saying, thanks. I appreciate you going down after that one. You know, West is he's not a pup. He's been around for a long time. That was a very tough catch.
Morton Anderson will attempt the point after. Denver 23, Atlanta 7. An outstanding drive at the end of the first half.
There's West. Good play action fake. And now watch out. Kind of goes down to the ground. West. Oh, no. Make it easier. He does a great job making the catch for the score.
Worst spot in the world. the sideline. You can't see from there, can you?
No, you can't.
Word kind of had to filter back.
Yeah. When we talked to Reeves yesterday in his office, we were kind of going on and on and on, and he wanted to get out of there, and I thought, you know, he wants to go watch the Ryder Cup. Actually, he wanted to go see his granddaughter play soccer.
That's a priority in life.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's unfortunate that this week Dan Reeves has been painted as a villain in Denver, and what a terrible thing he did to John Elway and the Denver Broncos. But look, John Elway and Dan Reeves 50 years from now are going to look back at their record of wins, and it's going to be one of the best there is in the history of the game. And Charlie, I would bet my life that if they win one of the 3 Super Bowls that they went to, there's no feud, there's no grudge match, there's no hard feelings, and there's no way around that.
I agree with you completely. You're absolutely right. Morton Anderson will kick off to Von Hembrun. 15 seconds time remaining first half. Little pooch kick. Just trying to put it up in the air on a short free kick or onside kick. Detron Smith has it. Atlanta wanted one more quick opportunity, so we might get one here and go to the end zone.
Yeah, you know, Smith could have fair caught that.
That's right.
That's one of the things that the special teams coaches for Denver will cover next week.
Denver at their own 47-yard line.
Spread formation. Is Denver going to try one more shot in the end zone here with 14 seconds left?
3 wides on the far side, 1 on this side. Hail Mary formation with 13 seconds. Elway scrambles out to the right. He's going to be sacked.
That may be the most deceptive set of halftime quarterback stats I have ever seen in my life.
It really is.
One quarterback in complete control, and Chris Chandler here running for his life.
Meanwhile, Elway getting loose on the sideline. First down. Little play action fake, far side. Pass is complete, going to the fullback, Bob Christian. Tyrone Braxton with the tackle in. The Falcons continue to move the football like they did in that last drive at the end of the half.
Yeah, Charlie, I think the only thing that Dan Reeves can do is just continue with the education of this team, stay with the game plan as best they possibly can. And you see again, Chris Chandler hit. This time it looked like Alfred Williams, 91. No, it's Neil Smith. Romanowski is picked up by Jamal Anderson on the outside. Neil Smith free on the quarterback on the inside. But Dan Reeves has to stick with the game plan. He has to teach even in a losing effort.
Second down 6, whistles and flags. Matt Willing may have jumped. Offensive tackle.
Ball start. Offense prior to the snap, number 77.
It was.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
5-year veteran from the University of Southern California.
Yeah, so now Atlanta faces second and long yardage, which is the zone blitz area for the Denver Broncos. So now Chris Chandler's in jeopardy once again.
Second 11. A little over 2 minutes into the second half. Denver leading 23-7 over the Atlanta Falcons. Good protection, lots of time, tipped, incomplete. Neil Smith got his hand up, had a piece of it, so it'll be third down and 11. Santiago, the intended receiver.
Yeah, you know, I think if Smith doesn't tip this, watch 51 right behind the line of scrimmage. See, he's running right in front of the receiver. I think if Neil Smith does not tip it, Mobley's going to make the interception. Neil Smith is celebrating. Mobley saying, Neil, keep your hands down, will you?
Third down and 11. How costly that penalty becomes.
Yes.
It has stopped the drive to this point. 4 wide receivers for the Falcons. Blitz is coming. Out of the backfield, tipped incomplete.
That's Neil Smith again.
Smith got a hand on it again. Harold Green, the intended receiver, so it'll be fourth down. The Falcons were underway. They were moving. The penalty so costly.
Yeah, here's Smith right over here, and again, he just makes a little bit of penetration and sticks his hands up. And the ball is intended for Harold Green. Can't make the completion.
2 yards back.
Pretty good timing by Neil Smith.
Yes. Points out that old adage that coaches say, it's not the number of penalties, it's when they come.
Absolutely. They always seem to hurt when you're not winning.
Fair catch taken at the 22-yard line by Darian Gordon. Flag is down. We've got a flag dropped at the 26-yard line. They start at their own 13-yard line. They start with Terrell Davis. Out across the 20 to the 21. Gain of 8 yards on the play. A great showdown between the two powerhouses in the AFC. The Atlanta Falcons with a bye next week.
Offense, number 75. Penalize half the distance to the goal line. Repeat the down. First down.
Brian Habib. There is the schedule. New England, then the bye. At Oakland, at Buffalo, Seattle, Carolina, at home, at Kansas City.
Yeah, actually, that game next weekend against New England, I think a lot of people felt that that was the conference championship game of last year. Obviously, Jacksonville didn't get that message, and Denver stayed home.
First down. Elway looks right, comes back left. He is hit, just leans forward to get back in the field of play. Just barely avoids the safety.
Was it Hall 98 or Archambault 92?
Hall 98, I believe.
There's good coverage down the field because you can see Elway look right first. Nobody out there, nobody to go to. Now he senses he's in trouble. Yes, it is Hall. But Elway, it's where the ball is, and Elway gets the ball out into the field of play. No safety.
Second down, 22, 1-yard line. 5 wide receivers. Over the middle, pass is complete to Rod Smith. Smith is decked. The ball was down, I believe. He was hit by Devin Bush, the free safety.
Again, Charlie, that was that spread formation. Try to stretch the defense as best you possibly can, and this is just a short completion. You hope Rod Smith breaks this tackle. It was a good hit. He did fumble it, but recovered it. So it was ruled a catch, fumble, recovered.
11-yard line, third down, 12.
Same formation again, Charlie.
This surprised Atlanta in the first half.
Yes.
Should not surprise them now. 5 wide receivers. Elway is going to be sacked at the 5-yard line. This time, Chuck Smith got him.
The adjustment that Atlanta has made is they're putting in 5 defensive backs. They got just a 4-man rush. Chuck Smith, bottom of the screen. They run a big twist. And actually, he's blocked reasonably, but when Elway is flush from the pocket, he runs right into Smith for the sack. And you got to celebrate something. Forget the scoreboard. You're down 23-7. We at least got a sack.
Tom Roy, back edge of the end zone. If he steps back on the line, it's a safety. Has to hurry. Oh, he gets off a great kick. Super kick. Todd Kinchin takes it 41-yard line. 45, 50 on the return. Nice return, but a super kick from the back edge of the end zone. Under all kinds of pressure. 54 yards on the kick. An 11-yard return. Back in a moment. 23-7 Denver. 27 yards and a touchdown. Yesterday he told us 2 things. First, we have to fight one play at a time. Just one play at a time. We have to think that way. Also, he said defensively, Denver does not leave the middle of the field open. We have to go wide. This is the best field position to start a drive they've had. Have the pressure, downfield, intercepted at the 30-yard line. Picked off for the Denver Broncos. It's Darian Gordon on the return. Gordon with an interception return this year for a touchdown. And has this one brought down by Jamal Anderson. 20 yards on that return. His second interception of the year. First of the ballgame.
Now again, watch the pressure by Denver. They bring 3. I got 6 guys. They also dropped the nose tackle. And actually, Gordon does a great job on this interception. Chandler could not finish his throw because of the pressure. And again, watch the pressure. See the defensive lineman drop out. Romanowski again untouched. Charlie, that's got to be 5 times there's been somebody untouched on Chris Chandler. Nothing he can do. He couldn't put any steam on it. A good call by Greg Robinson, too, the defensive coordinator. After a good stand by the Atlanta defense, we'll put the blitz on them, stop any momentum right in the tracks.
Following the interception, Denver with the ball at the 50-yard line. You cash in deep. Sets goes to the far side, knocked away. Nice defensive play. Shannon Sharp, the intended receiver. William White with the defensive coverage.
Now, there's Shannon Sharp out as a flanker. It appears to me, now there's a lot that Denver does on offense, but it appears to me they're kind of showing other teams that they might be facing, like next weekend, a lot of different things here. And Shannon Sharp is a flanker. That puts the strong safety White out on him. Not a great cover guy, a better tackler. Tried to make the completion, couldn't get it done.
2nd and 10. Terrell Davis. Add 5, maybe 6 more yards to his total. William White with the tackle. Terrell Davis has rushed for 66 yards in this ball game. In the first game against Kansas City this year, he rushed for 101. Second game Seattle, 107. Against St. Louis, 103. Last week Cincinnati, 215. Trying to make it 5 straight over the 100-yard mark. He still has some work cut out, but he has time. Elway throws, juggled and dropped by Ed McCaffrey.
Well, he caught that one, a pass like that last year against, wasn't it Minnesota? Remember at the end of it, yes. Bounced off somebody else, ricocheted here, ricocheted there, and McCaffrey makes the catch. A lot of contact out there, and the ball just gets the best of him. Elway's still got a strong enough arm that you'd like to see that ball leave Elway's hand. Gives you a better chance to catch it. Sometimes it just blitzes you. It comes in so quickly.
Tom Rowan will be kicking to Todd Kitchen. Kitchen, in all probability, will let it go to the end zone. We have a flag down. Fair catch around the 10-yard line, but the flag dropped at the 46. 33 yards on the kick. Should it stand?
Again, if they get it down inside the 20, it's a plus as opposed to a minus. You don't like the penalty, but it could turn out to be a plus.
Todd Kitchen, the return man. Kitchen takes it at the 5, out to the 10.
Wow, not a very smart choice.
No, big time gamble. 50 yards on the kick, a 4-yard return. Darius Johnson, Randy Hilliard on the tackle. Back in a moment. To win, he said, we have to stop to Terrell Davis. We have to keep Elway off of the field. We have to have turnovers. He is 0 for 3.
0 for 3 is correct.
Falcons starting at their own 10-yard line. Jumping to the outside is Jamal Anderson. Breaks a block, breaks a tackle, and skips up the sideline with a first down. Nice run to the 27-yard line. Steve Atwater, with that shoulder injury and the brace, takes him out of bounds. As you have a chance to check out the ticker and the other games that are going on in the National Football League.
And that's one of the things that Atlanta needs to do. Actually, every team in the NFL needs to run. It needs to threaten the defense with the run.
A surprise underway. Did you notice Detroit leading Green Bay?
Yes, I saw that. Anderson now 8 carries for just 29 yards.
27-yard line, first down. Anderson again headed the backfield. Retains his balance across the 30 to the 31.
Now Romanowski got in there, kind of disrupted the timing of the play. 53 got his hand on a leg. And Anderson had to wait a little bit. It's going to all take place right out here. Watch Romanowski, 53. Takes on the blocker. Just gets his arm around the knee. And then Michael Dean Perry kind of dives at the legs. And he's down for a gain of a little, not much.
Could have been a loss.
Could have been a lot.
Picks up about 4. Anderson only 2 yards rushing in the first half. 32 yards rushing thus far in the second half. Just over 7 minutes to go in the third. Little play action fake rolling with trailers and their Denver Broncos. Pass is complete. O.J. Santiago out of Kent State. The rookie taken in the 3rd round. The big tight end with unbelievable potential at 6'7", 260 pounds. Braxton and brings him down. Neat kid. I was really impressed with him. I enjoyed visiting with him because he was having so much fun.
Yeah, I agree. And you also have to consider this young man is now playing his 4th year of American football. Up in Canada, the little bit of football he played is with 12 guys, and you run all over the field, and it's a wide field, so he's still learning how you play American football. But you're right, he is a great personality.
38-yard line, first down. Draw, straight shot up the middle, Hanspard to the 40, 30, 20, down the sideline, needs a block, cuts back, is going to be taken out of bounds around the 5-yard line. A check back to the line of scrimmage, no flag. Well, 57 yards.
And so far this season, if there's one negative for the Denver defense, is they're allowing 5-8 a rush. And they're also allowing 132 yards a game. Defensive coordinator Greg Robinson said, look, it's a play or two a game. And this is a perfect example. I also noticed Steve Atwater almost there to make the tackle because of that brace on his arm. Couldn't stretch out, reach out, and make contact on Hanspard to assist on a tackle.
5-yard line, first down, goal to go. Anderson lowers his head, gets to the 1-yard line. Jamal Anderson, a collision course. Tyrone Braxton, Steve Atwater stop him at the 1.
Man, he rolls over Tyrone Braxton, number 34. Watch him lower his shoulder, boom. 34 just folded like one of those house of cards you see at Christmas, you know. Tough kid, very tough kid, and with proper blocking, he can gain Atlanta an awful lot of yards.
Bob Christian is the fullback, Anderson the tailback. Anderson, hit and run behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play. Keith Traylor.
Now again, I'm suspecting the center. Here's Traylor right here, and he's on the rookie center. And it looked to me like Traylor comes right behind him.
He does.
Right behind him. Almost there to take the handoff. Again, that's that hurt and inexperienced offensive line.
3-yard line. Third down, goal to go. Harold Green. Now the tailback. Passing formation, 3 wide, far side, 1 near side. Little motion by Mathis. In the corner, it's there. Bert Emanuel. Touchdown, Atlanta.
First time Atlanta has beaten the blitz. You see Romanowski, good block by the fullback, but Emanuel runs a great pattern, just a little out pattern. Brockett, he was looking inside, expecting something else to come his way, and Emanuel just wide open out there in the corner.
Morton Anderson with the extra point. It is good. Suddenly, the Denver Broncos now lead 23-14. We'll be back with the kickoff. We have 4:12 left in the third. The interception, Darian Gordon. Then the Atlanta defense held. Denver had to kick. They ended up with the ball at the 9-yard line, and they had to put the drive together from there. Actually, at the 11-yard line. 89 yards on the drive, 7 plays. The big play, of course, was the 57-yarder. This one will go out of bounds.
Atlanta's had a 92-yard drive for a touchdown and an 89-yard drive for a touchdown. So certainly positive there for Dan Reeves and his group. All right, now watch what happens here. You're going to see a good lead block, and Hanspard comes through here. But 27, Steve Atwater is going to come over. He has a brace on his right arm. Now watch what happens. That right arm, he can't reach out to make the tackle. Tries to make it with his left arm. If Steve Atwater is healthy, that's his tackle to make, and he'll make it. But Atwater, even though he's not at full strength, out there playing, and you have to admire him for that.
The ball will be placed on the 40-yard line with a kickoff that goes out of bounds. Davis is upended after 4 to the 44. It'll be second down and 6 on a kickoff that is not touched by the receiving team. Goes out of bounds 30 yards from the spot of the kickoff. So Denver starts at their own 40 with good field position. Henri Crockett with the last tackle.
Third quarter, just 9 yards for Denver. And here, I think, is where Terrell Davis is such a weapon. The momentum switches to the Atlanta side. Now let's see if they get the ball to Terrell Davis a lot here and just take the wind again out of Atlanta's sails.
When Cincinnati threatened last week, that's exactly what they did. Elway goes deep. Shannon Sharp incomplete. Sharp had a couple of steps on the defenders, too.
Yeah, it looked to me like Elway kind of threw it up. Just
one of those rainbow throws.
Yeah, but watch this. Watch what Terrell Davis does to 2 guys over here. 1, 2. How about that?
You're right. He does have the mentality of a defensive line.
Come on in here. Bring it in here. Actually, this is the first crucial down that Denver has faced in this football game, Charlie.
Third down 5, a definitive moment for the Broncos. Shotgun 3 wide. Atlanta shows pressure right up the middle. They drop out of the blitz, 4-man rush. Elway rolls out. On the move, hits Shannon Sharp for the first down.
Man.
Jesse Tuggle with the tackle.
Atlanta thinks they got him. Here's Sharp. And Elway has always had that ability to begin to run, but always keep looking downfield. Catches sight of Shannon Sharp, and he doesn't need to be set much to throw it, even without that bicep tendon.
43-yard line of Atlanta, first down, converting on third down 5. That's what makes him so great.
Yeah, always has.
Davis shut off right up the middle, a little slide step to the left, has a 7, maybe 8 yards on the play before William White makes the tackle.
That is a touchdown saving tackle, I might add, too. Now watch the way he slides along the line here. It's not a clean hole. Regathers himself, and then if White doesn't grab that leg, Terrell Davis is in the end zone. But look at this, 2nd and 3. Comfortable spot to be in.
Davis now has rushed for 78 yards, 12 yards, 22 yards away from the 100 mark. 2 minutes to go in the third. Elway throws, one-hand grab by Ron Smith. Turns it back inside, back outside, 26-yard line, first down. Ray Buchanan with the tackle. I have the feeling that the Denver offense says, okay, all right, you got close. Now we're going to show you some more of our weapons.
Frankly, Charlie, they have that ability. This is a crossing pattern run. Smith again with excellent hands and a big receiver. Elway stood in there under some pressure. Picks up the first down. You're right. I mean, they do have several gears. And they know how to turn it on. This is a team that knows how to win. They were 13-3 last year.
First down, 3-step drop on target. Pass is complete to Shannon Sharp. William White again with the tackle.
Now, we have seen Shannon Sharp in the flanker spot a lot today.
Yes.
That has worked today, but Charlie, more importantly, that's a message for next week's team. We are not afraid to put Shannon Sharp out as a flanker. Now, are you going to send your corner out there? If so, we'll throw inside. You're going to send your safety out there? We're going to throw it to Shannon Sharp. Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan, just another little branch off of that offensive tree that Denver has.
Second down 1. Also points out the ankle's okay.
Yeah, seems to be.
Elway rolls, throws, passes complete to Detron Smith all the way into the end zone.
How about that?
Everybody misdirection, everybody going left. Elway rolls right. Detron Smith out of the backfield goes with him. 17 yards, touchdown Denver.
His first catch of the season. It goes for a touchdown. Great fake, and of course the defense has to commit to Terrell Davis. Smith out there all by himself. Good block down the field by Smith also. And he waltzes into the end zone. And they go for 2 again.
For those of you joining us late, Jason Elam, their kicker, has a strained hip flexor, so they have been going for 2 rather than attempting the extra point because John Elway is the extra point kicker, the backup. Throws incomplete. Score will remain 29-14. 37 seconds left in the third. Back in a moment.
Anybody's a candidate.
Stay
I'm
alert.
not particular, he told us yesterday. I'll throw it to anybody that's open.
Watch the kickoff. Tom Rowan, backup kicker. Not that bad. It'll be taken to the 15-yard line by Hanspard. Atlanta will go to work at about their own 33-yard line. Program note. Tonight, an original movie thriller on NBC.
Sounds like a good idea, but you might end up with two Paul McGuire. You know, experiments can go.
They might have missed both of us, too, on that.
Sure.
Paul McGuire. The world is not ready for that. Tripping Jamal Anderson had the opening to the outside, then just got tripped up. Will pick up about 5 yards on the play as Braxton covers him.
Well, just that quickly now Denver took the momentum away from Atlanta, quieted the crowd once again, so now Atlanta's offense has got to kind of crank it up again.
See if they can get something going. Another look.
When you've got Hanspard, a running back, trying to block a defensive tackle, you will get your quarterback hurt.
Yes.
No question about that. And Chandler hurt again. Here it is right here. You can't leave that inside guy, the big hat, for a running back. You need a big hat on the big hat. The offensive tackle, number 70, Whitfield, he turned out. And Chandler, again, just can't stay healthy. 6th team in 10 years, and it's always been because of an injury. Had a concussion 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, he got a bruised sternum.
Yep.
And now,
a very tender ankle. Chandler, the first quarterback in NFL history to start for 6 teams: Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Rams, Houston, Atlanta. Billy Joe Tolliver started last week. He'll replace him. Now Chandler carried to the sideline. It is 4th down. 4th down and 5 at the 36. Straczynski will be kicking to Darian Gordon.
frankly, that was bound to happen. Get Chandler that hurt.
This one doesn't turn over. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 21-yard line, where Denver will go to work. 43 yards on the kick with no return as Chandler is being attended to on the sideline. We'll be back in a moment. He has completed 50 to 26. Chris Chandler on the sideline. Elway 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Denver starts at their own 21-yard line. Comes out firing to Shannon Sharp. Touchdown at the 26.
Charlie, let's go back to the injury. Most assignments are big hat on big hat. That is an offensive lineman on a defensive lineman. But you can see Tano Vasa is left to Hanspard, the running back. That is a mistake in pass protection. Now, I'm not sure who would make that mistake. But Whitfield is the experienced guy on the offensive line. He turned out on Alfred Williams. The guard went for the inside guy. And it left a defensive lineman on a running back, and you're never going to win that matchup.
Blitz is coming. It develops a run blitz. Terrell Davis is wrapped up by William White. White with a strong safety blitz.
Something they should have done at the beginning of the game. You're going to see just a rocket coming in here from the right to make the tackle before Terrell Davis can get underway. But again, the momentum taken out of Atlanta by either a big offensive play by Denver or, in the last case, a big defensive play by Denver.
3rd down 7. 3 wide receivers, open tight end. Shannon Sharp a couple of steps away from his tackle. He goes down on the batter, and Elway goes to the far side, has pressure. It's incomplete. 3 and out. Rod Smith, the intended receiver. Jerron Bolton, the coverage. Denver will be kicking to Atlanta. Billy Joe Tolliver will be the quarterback for the Falcons. We have 12:43 time remaining. 29-14, Denver leading. Ruin kicking to Todd Kitchen. 30-yard line.
And Charlie, that flag was thrown to be allowed as Chandler.
Speaking of 12, the number of Chandler. They're going into X-ray the left ankle. Oh, he's just shaking his head.
Yeah.
He knows something.
He has so many. He has had so many seasons lost because of an injury.
Yeah.
And has actually played pretty well in the previous 3 seasons when he was with Houston. And I gave credit to Jerry Rome for teaching him how to play football. Comes here.
How to read the defense, showing what the safeties. That will tell you what to do when you learn how to read it. He said, I didn't know till I met up with Jerry Rome.
And then he comes here and just can't stay healthy for 4 quarters.
24-yard line, catching on the return to the 30, cuts back to the 35, 40. Nice return, good field position. Around the 43-yard line, Keith Burns with the tackle, 46-yard run. A 17-yard return as Chris Chandler goes in for X-rays. Back in a moment.
Wow, call Domino's now.
Yeah, that's shaking your tail feathers, I guess you might say. I don't know how else you would cover it. Atlanta now at their own 42-yard line, first down. Billy Joe Tolliver, the quarterback. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 52%. He's been sacked 7 times. Back to throw, his pressure at the middle, and he misses, incomplete. Terrence Mathis, the intended receiver. Gordon had the coverage. Chance to check out the ticker. Washington leading Jacksonville. Arizona in front of Tampa Bay with 8 minutes to go. Detroit in front of Green Bay. A couple of upsets working in those 2 ball games. Pittsburgh 37-9 over Tennessee. Giants 14, New Orleans 9. Mike Ditka still looking for his second win. An interesting afternoon of the National Football.
If it stays like that, very interesting.
Denver 29, Atlanta 14 here at the Georgia Dome. Tolliver sets up deep. Over the middle, pass is complete. Pulled in by Bert Emanuel, has scored one of the 2 touchdowns for the Falcons, and Ray Crockett makes the tackle.
Crossing pattern using the speed of Bert Emanuel. Actually pretty good protection for Billy Joe Tolliver. Just a 4-man rush. Good job done up front. And a nice easy completion. When you give the quarterback time, you also give the receiver time to get open, and you can make those completions.
Emanuel 6 catches, 51 yards. First down. Denver 47-yard line. 5-man rush, 6-man rush. 2 linebackers blitzing against the screen to Anderson. Has it. Inside the 30, still going inside the 20. Breaks the tackle, he's going to score. The Falcons are right in the middle of this one. 47 yards.
That's a nice start for Billy Joe Tolliver.
And a big smile from Jamal Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the year. Morton Anderson adds the point after.
This is a great call. Expecting the blitz, they get it. And there's not great protection, but you don't need great protection. Billy Joe does a great job of selling it. But Keith Traylor, 94, almost comes up with an interception. And then I count 1. Missed tackles. 2, 3, 4. Everybody staying on their feet by Denver. And again, Atwater couldn't really wrap him up. He's one of the best tacklers there is in the NFL. And that defensively looked like a team that was saying to itself, we got them down 29-14. These guys are 0-4. They're not going to make the effort. And they did.
29-21. Denver's margin has been cut to 8 points. For Billy Joe Tolliver, that is his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. Anderson scoring his 2nd touchdown. the 10, the 15, to the 20. Nice return. Ball bounce loose. It was down by contact. 23-yard line. Lenny McGill for the Falcons makes the tackle. Here's the last 3 possessions of Atlanta. Eddie Sutter also in on that stop. Touchdown, punt, touchdown. Not bad.
No, not bad at all, especially with the way that the Atlanta Falcons played to begin the game in the first half.
Hebron is down. That's Von Hebron of the Denver Broncos.
That was a big hit by McGill.
Here's a note. The NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all of the scores, and that also takes its toll.
Yeah, it's never comfortable on any part of your body, and certainly especially your head. Still being attended to. He's up on his feet now, though.
Good news. He is up. We've got a timeout. Back in a moment. We'll be in Miami for the Kansas City Dolphins game. We'll be joined by Randy Cross. We're looking forward to that one. All right, the Broncos have been struggling here. Although leading, old Mo, momentum has shifted to the Falcons. The crowd is into it here at the Georgia Dome. They need to pitch back. Flea flicker. Going deep for the flea flicker. They could call offensive pass interference on that.
They sure could.
But they don't. McCaffrey was going deep on the flea flicker. The hand to Terrell Davis. The lateral back to John Elway.
Devin Bush is going to be the one that's involved in this. And Charlie, I agree with you. You are absolutely right.
Elway was nailed, and he runs right into him.
Yeah, McCaffrey does a little acting. It's well carried out, but the defensive backs of Atlanta stay deep. And McCaffrey, there is the hit right on John Elway.
Henri Crockett.
Blitz.
Draw. Davis. Nothing. It'll be 3rd down. Woo. In this half, the Broncos have had only 3 first downs and 68 yards total offense.
That is in part due to the success they had in the first half. It is very common for a team to just take a series off, a drive off. Unfortunately, Denver took a corner off, and now they're in a tough spot.
Cornelius Bennett and Chuck Smith for the Falcons on that last play. Broncos 6 of 11 on 3rd down. Three out of the pattern. This will be close to the 1st down. Let's see with the struggle in the spot to reach with the ball. Willie Green, who has scored a touchdown for the Broncos, struggling, trying to get on 3rd down an extra inch or 2 in the grasp of Jerron Bolden. It's all up to the official on that side. That's a hard call. They were all over the place together.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. It all depends on the spot. There's no way to tell. But from where they have it sitting there, it looks short, but that's not the official. Take it away.
And Todd Kitchen, the return man, comes running out. The defense all pumped up as they come off the field. 29-21 Denver. Lots of time remaining. 9:49. There's Kitchen. Tom Rowan. Now this time he's counting. Remember they had 12 men on the field. He's counting. Make sure. All right, check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He got it right. Okay. Rowan, who has had an excellent afternoon punting. Good snap. Does it again. Fair catch. 25-yard line. Atlanta will go to work at their 25-yard line with just over 9.5 minutes remaining. Back in a moment. Well, as on the scoreboard. 291 yards to 320 for Denver. Billy Joe Tolliver, the quarterback. Moment ago, 47-yard touchdown pass to Jamal Anderson. Look at the second half, 159 yards to 77 for Denver. The draw, Anderson. He'll have a couple of yards on the play, maybe 3. That'll be it.
Charlie, I'll make this comment. It is so difficult in the middle of a football game to kind of reignite a fire. You know, you spend all week, and when you travel, you get yourself excited to play the game. When the game starts, your edge, you kind of lose your edge a little bit. And Denver dominated so much in the first half that, frankly, both sides of the ball for Denver has kind of lost his edge a little bit, and Atlanta's taking advantage of it.
I think they listened to your opening when you said they had no chance, no shot.
Well, I'll say it next week, too, whoever they play, just to help.
Against New England? No. That's a toss-up. Second down and 7. Blitz. Over the middle. Pass is complete. 30-yard line. Nice defensive play by Ray Crockett, bringing down Bert Emanuel at the 30.
And Mobley, 51 this time, draped all over Billy Joe Tolliver. He gets just enough time to throw the thing across the middle. This has been one of the most consistent things that Denver has done all day long, is pressure up the middle. And that's Traylor down on his feet. Mobley was also there. And a lot of people around the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons.
One of those dozen or half dozen defining plays of a ball game. Third down and 5 for Atlanta at their 30-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the right side. Flag is down. Comes back to this side. Has the first down. If it stands up, there was a flag.
Trying to be attended to. I noticed his replacement is Adam Schreiber.
Adam Schreiber, who does the snapping. Tolliver sets and overthrows the intended receiver. Bob Christian out of the backfield. Romanowski picked him up. Another flag.
That was a very late flag, too, I might add.
Personal foul.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 90 on the defense. First down.
That's Neil Smith.
Charlie, this was way after the play. That ball was already on the ground, and they were starting to assemble back at the line of scrimmage when the flag is thrown. So,
with the penalty, the ball goes out to the 50-yard line. First down. 7:39. Top of the screen.
Here's Neil Smith. He gets knocked to the ground, and then what happens? Oh, he tries to knee him, and Dick Hantak caught him.
Tolliver back. Trying to set up a screen. Now he wants to go long. Comes back to the screen. Incomplete. Another flag is down. Really, flag on every play.
Yeah, well, that's an offensive lineman downfield, illegally downfield.
Robert Toback, number 61, we believe, was downfield.
I think you have your choice. There were a couple, 3 of them down there.
Ineligible receiver on the offense, number 69.
That was
beyond the line of
Gene
scrimmage.
Williams, the other guard, the right guard.
Repeat the down. First down.
It was a screen, then a delay. He looked long, and on a screen, you're just going to release after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and this is just, the timing is destroyed, and there's Williams across the line of scrimmage. And when the timing of a screen is destroyed, I mean, it's the offensive lineman's job to be downfield blocking.
Best thing could have happened.
First down, 15, 45-yard line of Atlanta. You're looking at 68, Calvin Collins, the starting center. The rookie from Texas A&M was on the sideline. Tolliver sets. He'll be sacked. Wrapped up at the 40-yard line. It'll be second down, 20. Alfred Williams got it.
Alfred Williams been kind of quiet today, but there has certainly been consistent pressure. Williams beats Bob Whitfield, probably the best offensive lineman that Atlanta has, and he gets up underneath Whitfield for that sack. First sack this season.
4th of the ball game for the Broncos, and remember last week he rambled 51 yards for the touchdown against Cincinnati. Second down, 20. Tolliver rolls, sets, goes deep, turns back. The receiver did not turn back in time. Todd Kitchen, he was throwing on the break. He was out of time. If Kitchen turns just a split second earlier, could have picked it up. Didn't have a chance to pick it up.
And Charlie, that's just a case of the backup quarterback now playing starting quarterback. I'm sure these two guys have not had a great deal of time together this week in practice. Chris Chandler takes most of the step. Now, Kitchen is not a starting receiver, but at the same time, if there's a little more snaps between the two during the week, that probably works.
We still have no words on the x-rays to the ankle of Chris Chandler. Third down opportunities. Atlanta is 4 of 10, and they have a timeout. Stopping the clock with 6:59. That is the time remaining in the ball game. Denver is up by 8. With the early lead, 7-0, then out 15-0, up 23-0. Then it was 23-7, 23-14, 29-14, 29-21. Leading with 8:46 to go in the first half, 23-0. And handling the Atlanta Falcons. Third down and 20. Kitchen showing a little motion on this side. Goes across the middle. Tolliver being chased. Kitchen is cut back. Underneath the coverage. Pass is complete to the running back, Harold Green. He picks up about 15 yards, but remember, he needed 20. Do you gamble here? It'll be 4th down and 5. Kicking team comes out. A lot of time, 6:35. Dan Reeves does not want to gamble the game on this one play, because if you don't make it, Denver has tremendous field position.
Yeah, and I think also Dan Reeves, in all instances, will do the most conservative thing.
Darian Gordon is the return man.
Tolliver hung onto that football for a long time, trying to catch somebody at around the 20-yard depth so they could pick up that first down.
Yes. Here's the kick. Almost straight up and straight down. It bounces. And it will go in for the touchback to bring it out to the 20. Time now for Charlie's Memories. This is a game that I did on October the 30th, 1960. This is Old Bears Stadium, now Mile High. This is the way it started. Frank Trapuka for Denver to Bob McNamara against the Dallas Texans. But a fashion statement. If you'll notice, the vertical striped socks that were the trademark of the Broncos in 1960. That is the only sock remaining. All the rest were burned. That's in the office of the Denver Broncos.
Why didn't they burn that one? Why in the world wouldn't you burn that one?
The Texans, by the way, went on to win 17-14. The crowd was 13,002.
That many?
Yes. Big turnout. Terrell Davis is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Back to the 19-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, 11.
Charlie, now Atlanta's letting it all hang out here. Rich Brooks is coming with safety blitzes. That was William White, number 35, coming from the strong safety spot to be in the backfield. And frankly, that's what Atlanta has to do. They got to come up with a turnover here for good field position for their offense.
2nd and 11, 5.5 minutes left. Elway, here comes the blitz. He has to get rid of it. There's nobody there. They can call. They'll call intentionally grounding. The flag comes down. That's what will be the call. He wasn't outside of the tight end. Straight back. Nobody at home.
I see 6 guys coming. Elway recognizes it completely and just heaves it out there. And he gets up, complains a little bit, but this is an excellent call.
Henry Crockett, Dan Owens, Chuck Smith.
Yeah, that's where he's allowed. Once he gets out here.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Number 7 will penalize. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. It is loss of down.
Tough penalty. Spot of the foul, 8-yard line. Loss of down. It is now 3rd down. 22.
Actually, I don't know that John Elway had any other choice but to do that.
He didn't.
No,
he didn't. Atlanta 0-4. Denver 4-0. Pressure downfield, incomplete. It will be 4th down. Denver will have to kick it away. Atlanta could well have excellent field position with 5 minutes left in the ballgame. Now 5:16.
Well, Denver sky high in the first half, absolutely flat in the second half, and that's that lead. I don't know how you coach around a lead that big. I really don't.
If our friend Al Michaels was here, would you say, do you believe in miracles?
Atlanta's hoping, at least some of these fans.
They have a shot at it, don't they? They have a legitimate shot at pulling off the upset. They were 2 touchdown underdogs. Todd Kitchen, 45 to the far side, and about 4 yards on the but good field position for the Falcons. 49 yards of the kick, a 5-yard return. Program note.
John Elway. Mike Shanahan played the role of Gary Kubiak, helping the head coach with the offense.
Not a lot on the ground for Byron Hanspard. Playing with that stinger in his shoulder. Alfred Williams with the tackle. Gain of a yard, 2nd down 9. I'm surprised they're running the ball.
Well, I think they're scared to death of this zone blitz package that the Broncos have put together today. They've been around the quarterback all day long, but running the ball, the net result is 2nd and 9. This is the blitz package down.
Denver shows 4-man front. Only a 4-man rush. Screen. Anderson.
Well, that is a big tackle by Mobley.
Yes.
That's the screen that Jamal Anderson scored on. Here's 51. The screen is going to be set up this way, but watch the job that Mobley does, because frankly Anderson has he has blockers out there in front of him. 3 of them.
Yes.
Now how in the world does Mobley get? Look at that. Great job. Outstanding job of blowing up that particular screen. That's the biggest play, defensive play the Broncos have had in the second half.
3rd down 4. Pressure, Tolliver hit, he's brought down, sacked. Ball comes out, but he was down. Alfred Williams gets him.
There's John Tierlink, the pass rush specialist. Here's Williams, and frankly, he never really gets Billy Joe on the ground, but he just pushes Whitfield right back into Billy Joe Tolliver, and then hips him down, like a hip check, gets him to the turf.
Dan Straczynski kicking to Darian Gordon. Time remaining, 3:15 and counting. Another good kick, fair catch. 13-yard line. Flag down.
Holding on receivers during the punt. Number 39 will penalize from where possession was gained.
Oh, wait a minute. I saw Dan Reeves saying wave off that penalty.
Yeah.
We don't want that penalty.
I believe it was 39. I believe it was on Ray Crockett, though. He can't wave it off.
Holding during the punt on the receivers. Number 39 will penalize half the distance to the goal line. 1st down.
It's interesting. Maybe they didn't have a choice, but both Dan Reeves and Dick Camillus, the special teams coach, is saying refuse the penalty. We don't care. Leave it alone. But it was given to him anyway.
Huh, that's interesting. Denver 7-yard line. Terrell Davis for a couple of yards. Time now to take a look at the Miller Lite game summary.
Davis still needs 26 yards for his 5th straight 100-yard game to open the season. Highway 17 of 32, 236, 3 touchdowns. That 1 interception was a bit of poor judgment.
And the unexpected number in the ballgame.
Because of the injury to Jason Elam, the Broncos are 2 of 3 on 2-point conversions.
And again, the backup short kicker is
John Elway. He's also learning to fly. Maybe he can fly the charter home. What happened? We can.
That was the Miller time game summary.
There's Elam on the sideline. From the first quarter on, he has not been on the field.
Jason is from Snellville, Georgia. Timeouts left. Denver has 3. Atlanta has 1. 2nd down and 7. The ball at the 10-yard line. 2:56 time remaining. Broncos lead it by 8. Falcons showing blitz. They do. Couple You keep looking at the scoreboard. Timeout. Atlanta will take their last timeout. That's good clock management. 2:46 left. Cornelius Bennett and John Burrow on that last tackle.
And Charlie, you saw 9 guys filling 10 gaps on that offensive line to stop that run.
I keep looking at the scoreboard to make sure Denver's still leading, because you have the feeling that Atlanta is right there. They are there, but they're not in front. They haven't led in the ballgame. 29-21, Denver leads by 8. Next Sunday, exciting NFL action continues with a doubleheader beginning at 12 noon Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC. Then in Game 1, Bob and I, along with Randy Cross, will be in Miami for the Kansas City-Miami Dolphin game. Then in Game 2, the Chargers will take on the Raiders. Or regional action, check your local listings for the games in your area. There's more great NFL action next Sunday beginning at 12 noon Eastern Time with the NFL on NBC. As I mentioned, Bob Trumpy, Randy Cross, and I will be in Miami. Dick Enberg will return for the Ryder Cup, joining Paul McGuire and Phil Simms. They will have the second game of the doubleheader, the Chargers at the Oakland Raiders. Third down and 6. Elway throws, and it will be enough for the first down. He goes to the far side to Willie Green, who has scored a touchdown and had a very good ball game. Jerron Bolden was there to cover him, but they do pick up the first down, converting a third down opportunity.
Yeah, Charlie, last situation that Denver had, same play called. It was 3rd and long, expecting the Atlanta blitz, got it. But remember, Willie Green was just a little bit short. He went to the sideline, and Shanahan said, get across the 10-yard marker, make the first down. Willie Green did, and they do have a first down.
And I do have good news for Atlanta Falcons. X-rays Chris Chandler are negative. He will not come back in this ball game, but no broken bones, negative X-rays on the ankle. That is good news.
But now in 3 successive weeks, he's had a concussion, he had a bruised sternum, and now a badly sprained ankle.
They are undefeated. New England has a bye this week. Jacksonville lost to Washington today, 24-12, so there are only 3 left at this moment in time. And speaking of moment in time, the Atlanta Falcons are running out of time. No more timeouts.
Yeah, no more timeouts inside 2 minutes. 3 snaps, 45 seconds each gives you, what, 135 seconds? 2 minutes is 120 seconds. There's nothing that the Atlanta Falcons can do, and John Elway will use every possible second.
He will milk that clock, won't he? He has 3 timeouts to work with should he need them. He may do that here. He may just take the countdown to 1 second. That's what he's going to do, and then take his first timeout. Minute 14 left. It will now be reset to 25 seconds in this situation.
That is correct. I don't know why they would stop the clock here. I don't know what's necessary unless they felt they needed 1 more tick off the clock. So his streak ends at 4.
Unless he breaks one here, he will be handling the football.
See that list of consecutive 100-yard games to start a season, headed by Jim Brown in 1958.
No, this is kneel down time.
Yeah, game is over. But I'm not sure why they took that timeout, why they thought that was necessary.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
That's for somebody else to ask.
That's right. It will be 3rd down.
He's not going to get another carry.
Nope, but he will have got a nice meal. Mom is waiting back in Aurora, Colorado.
He's like John Elway. The team stats are more important than his individual stats. He'll take the win.
The only stat important to the Denver Broncos, 5-0. Setting up that a week from tomorrow night, they will host the New England Patriots, who are also undefeated. The kneel down, reset the clock. You're right. It's all over. 21 seconds on the game clock and 32 seconds on the play clock, and that is it. The Denver Broncos were sorely tested by the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons have played everyone except last week. They played everyone very, very well. They played them tough. They're still looking for that elusive first victory. But you can begin to see what Dan Reeves is building here in Atlanta.
And I think last week they made a mistake. They went out there a day early to San Francisco. And when you play the 49ers in San Francisco and you sit around there for an extra day, nothing good happens.
We'll be back.